So bad, it's good. We've done one of these already back in the day. Like 5 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. Pre-channel.
Whoa.
Before we had our own channel.
When we were still on the THV11 channel. But now we're back. We're not picked any Nic Cage because he's a cheat code. But we have some good ones.
Oh, I think we have some.
I think a good little variety this time.
I was going to say, I asked you before we started, I was like, can you give me the list just so I know kind of what we're going into? And yeah, we're all bringing different things to the table. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, mine's more like the butt rock action type movie.
Yeah.
JD's a mix of that, but a little bit of thriller in there.
Yeah.
And then Lauren's just like...
I've got like song and dance covered.
Very campy.
Campy, yeah.
All right, I'll get us started. The Sixth Day, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a clone movie. It's a clone movie that tries to be Blade Runner. It's directed by Roger Spottiswoode. If either of you guys know who that is.
Classic Raj, yeah. Huge fan.
He's the guy who directed Turner and Hooch and Tomorrow Never Dies, but also Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Okay.
And if you know the story, Arnold tricked Sylvester Stallone into making that movie.
Sure.
Basically, Arnold gets cloned while he's playing hooky with, he's supposed to fly a billionaire somewhere, but he's like, he gets his friend to do it. They get assassinated while Arnold's buying basically a Megan doll from the movie Megan. But this is before Megan ever existed. But basically it's that, and it's awful. It looks like the Twilight Baby. Yeah. That's how bad it is. And so he comes home, there's a clone of himself. And so he has to figure out what's happening. He figures out this billionaire's just been dying and intentionally making the clones, I almost said replicants because that's Blade Runner, making the clones die quicker because he wants to make more money and he's just evil and billionaire stuff. Yeah.
That sounds dumb. Never seen it, but that sounds dumb.
It's very bad. It's truly one of the worst Arnold sci-fis.
And it is like one of the last, like right before I think he was about to run for governor. It was, this is like the last breath of old school original Arnold.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I think the doll is what I'm just fixating on.
Was there an alligator in this movie?
That's a racer.
Okay, maybe that's something.
There's a whole scene where
I
has to fight
remember
the
this movie being like a thing that like my dad maybe watched, and it was kind of like, yeah, Sixth Day, like, you know, that's when God created man, and like that's the whole thing is that like you're just recreating man over.
Yeah, the law that bans cloning in it's called the Sixth Day law. So and there's like a terrorist.
I remember that, and I guess now I'm combining the two with an alligator. So.
Yes.
And so maybe, like, I think I've seen it maybe parts of it, but maybe all this time I was thinking, oh, they cloned other things like alligators. But no.
No, animal cloning is legal in the movie, but not humans.
Oh, okay, wow.
And, you know, this is after, you know, the sheep was cloned too. So, of course, someone's like, we got to get a movie.
Yeah.
I bring to the table From Justin to Kelly, which I did see in theaters. I think it may have been in theaters, like, 2 weeks or something.
Yes.
Even
was it
smaller
really?
than that.
It was barely in theaters.
I saw it. So straight off of the success of the first season of American Idol, like if you weren't there, American Idol was a huge deal. In their contracts of whoever won and the runner-up from that first season of American Idol, they had contractually had to do a movie after the show was over. And what we got was Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini in a spring break musical romp involving cell phones and wrong phone numbers and catfishing. I love Kelly Clarkson, but she never said she was an actress, and neither did Justin Guarini. They also don't have any chemistry. Yeah. When the whole movie is like supposed to be like a romantic comedy of these two kids falling in love. It's just the songs are all like original songs for this movie.
I think that some of them were pre-written before they even won.
Right.
Too,
so this was all like, they made like a cookie cutter of a movie and they said, whoever wins, we'll just plug them into this movie.
Oh, man, like how great would it have been like, if just, like you think about like Clay and like next year, like if they did the same thing.
From Clay to Ruben.
Like they're just like, okay, yeah, I've got it. Let's roll.
Awesome.
So yeah, I watched it. I mean, I was like a young preteen teenager. So at the time I was like, oh, this is cool. Like they're like the cool people who are on the show, and now they're in a movie, like a whole movie for them. It's not great. They can sing. That's the only thing that saves this. There's also Anika Noni Rose is in it. She's the voice of Tiana from Prince and the Frog. She's in it. She's great. Joe Manganiello from like True Blood and Magic Mike and all that stuff. There's some people in there that you're like,
I forgot he was in there.
Yeah.
whoa.
And it's funny watching American Idol back then because it was tight. It was half reality show, half competition show.
Yeah.
Anytime they interacted in the show, you could just tell they had no chemistry whatsoever. And you're just like, this is going to be bad.
They kiss and it's weird. They made a plot, they wrote a script and didn't care who got put in it.
Yep.
And then there was these two people who can sing wonderfully, can't do anything else.
Where is Justin these days?
Broadway.
Oh yeah.
You're on this too.
You know what was huge? You know what was huge in the? I mean, it was coming back around in the late '90s, early 2000s. Skateboarding, and it was awesome. And there's a little movie called Grind, that just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Just some bad things in it, but man, is it just a lot of fun? Just a couple of bros being guys on a road trip, and skateboarding. So it was.
A road trip on the skateboard? I'm just kidding.
So the whole thing is they start their own team, and they don't want to go to college. And it's like Adam Brody, Mike Vogel,
Okay.
the guy from Rat Race who plays the brother with the piercing. And I was also a huge Brink fan at the time.
I was going to say, are you going to bring up Brink?
Yeah, Brink ruled, and then I was like, this is just grown up Brink a little bit. And it had like all the skaters at the time, like. Bam, not probably the thing that's aged the worst in the movie. Bam is like a century, like a big character in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's a trash dude in the movie too. So But anyways, it's just fun. I mean, Adam Brody's hilarious, and it's just like it was kind of like that perfect storm of like teen and just extreme sports and
teens love their
extreme sports. And like the soundtrack's kind of fun. It's just like when I say fun, I mean it more just like brings back nostalgia. You got like POD's Boom. It's like the final showdown song.
Wonderful.
And
song.
it's just and they do like the whole dance to Bust a Move. All of their stunt doubles, just very noticeable.
Yeah.
So because none of those guys could actually skate, so they just brought in skaters to do all the tricks. And like there's a guy named like Sweet Lou, and he's got kind of like slicked back hair, and every time he skates, he wears a hat because they had to put a wig on the guy.
Yes.
And so the hat is just holding the wig, and it's so dumb. If you love just movies that are like, ooh, time capsule,
Yikes.
cell phones.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me
cell
of?
phones. We got that. Movies have that in common. Bad cell phone stuff that is so bad now.
It reminds me of Blue Crush.
Yeah, it's like Boy Blue Crush, but with surfing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'd say Blue Crush probably better than Grind.
Probably a little bit.
Like
better,
if you were like, it's just Grind is like, what if a middle school dude, like a middle school junior high dude, made a movie,
wrote a
movie, and he's like, what am I into right now?
I like Boy Blue Crush.
Yeah,
Boy Blue Crush.
And it's just like, yeah, what if we did like a whole thing where there's like farts. They're standing. They have to. They book a hotel, but the only things available is the honeymoon suite, and all these four dudes have to stay in the honeymoon suite, and they're farting a lot. Like that's
to keep on the train of phones. I've chosen phone booth. Call them up.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, phone booth. If you don't know, it's a thing that you used to stand in, and there'd be a telephone there, and you could talk to people.
Yeah, a little door. You
can and a yellow page book, which you don't know about that either.
Right.
But anyways, stars Colin Farrell, Forrest Whitaker, Kiefer Sutherland.
His voice.
Just voice only for a little bit.
Yeah.
For a little bit. And Katie Holmes, and from a deleted scene, Jared Leto.
That's right.
Whoa.
I always heard Katie Holmes in there too.
Yeah. I had the DVD at home, so.
Huge DVD.
But it was directed by Joel Schumacher, who we know had made the bad Batman movies, but he's made some good movies. Yep. This is, well, kind of good in some ways, but also this was the rise of the like stuck in one location movie.
Yes.
Saw, I think, comes out a couple of years later, right? But this was like the first big one. And I just remember when I watched it on DVD, because where I lived at the time, there was only two theaters, like in the movie theater, and they never did R-rated movies other than The Matrix. But anyways, he's stuck in the phone booth, and there's a sniper with a sniper rifle trained on him, and Colin Farrell is like a publicist or something like that, and he's having an affair, and the guy's like, you got to reveal all your secrets. All this drama unfolds. There's a hidden gun inside. But the way it's shot is just very Schumacher. It's just very just like frenetic, crazy, kind of Michael Bay style. But at the same time, it's just overacting. Everyone's overacting in this movie. Colin Farrell is like trying like hell to like make this movie work.
Yeah.
And so is Forrest Whitaker. And it's just really fun to watch.
This is like peak. We have to make Colin Farrell movie star.
Yeah.
So, which I love. I mean, I think he's an incredible actor. This was just that range of like Phone Booth, SWAT, Minority Report, which he's great in. But and then like he
did that movie with Al Pacino.
They're like, this man has to be a star, and it's bad.
But
it's but it's good.
It's in the vein of other so bad that it's good things of like. If you don't hang up the phone, like I have to stay with you on the like that Cellular movie.
I
with
brought
Chris
up
Evans.
Cellular,
which is guess what? Same guy wrote the story. It's story by
sense.
Cellular.
So like that, or we talked about 88 Minutes with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
It's like where it's all within. It's almost like a TV bottle episode.
Yes.
It's like you're all in one place, or you're following one character through like almost real time events happening through the hour and a half you're watching the movie.
And the writing has to be good for those things,
right.
And this wasn't. You just jogged my memory. It's Larry Cohen who wrote this. He pitched this idea to Hitchcock in the 60s.
Whoa.
And he could not break the idea until the late 90s. And
when phone booths really
we're leaving, so he's like, I gotta figure this out.
I
gotta do it.
My next one is Burlesque, which is, two-hander with Christina Aguilera and Cher. Stanley Tucci's also in it. The Tooch. So shout out. I have to admit that I really like this movie. I understand that it's not great, but I will watch it. It's on cable a lot. It was just on TV sometimes, and you can just catch it at any point, and it's great. Christina Aguilera lives in like rural, I don't know, Indiana or something, decides she's going to leave and she's going to move to like New York, and she wants to be a performer and a singer, and she gets a job, or she's trying to find a job and it's really hard, and she ends up at Cher's Burlesque club, and has no idea what burlesque is, so she has to learn, and Cher's really mean to her at first, and Julianne Hough and Kristen Bell are all really mean.
I forgot they were in that movie.
They all hate her because she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she like wins them over, and it's a club where they just dance, they don't sing. But Christina Aguilera comes in and they hear how she can really sing, and so then they change. Cher's like, we're changing everything, we're gonna sing now, and it's all about Christina Aguilera, and they're all really mean to her. It knows that it's not super serious. It's all just about like the glamour and the like fashion and the music of everything that's going on. Christina Aguilera, I think she's great. But I understand that this movie is...
Yeah.
I learned about... This movie taught me what air rights are, where you can buy the rights to the air above a building, so you can't build above it. That's like the big saving grace at the end of this movie. Like, they think they're going to lose the club, and then Christina Aguilera's like, have you heard of air rights? And then she saves everything.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This must be a New York only thing.
You can buy... so that you
rights?
can't... Yes. Story time. You can buy the rights so that you can't build up higher and lose the view or whatever. And so they're going to tear down her club and build this giant skyscraper. And they're like, no, we got the rights to the air. And it's saved.
Some real...
And the Tooch is there, and he's cool. He's like Cher's like little sidekick.
This is maybe 4 years after Devil Wears Prada, 4 or 5 years. There's that kind of like, you're new to this world, and like there's a mean woman.
Yeah, Cher is Miranda Priestley, and
But then like she shows up and she shows them, and the Tooch is there too.
She's in both.
It's a real like, we need to have like a mean woman, and then like a woman who doesn't know much about the thing. And then my last pick is it's a movie called Joyride, not the movie that came out
not the one that just came out.
This is Paul Walker, Lily Sobieski, Steve Zahn, Ted Levine, just a couple other people pop up in it. And it is... Now,
when you say Ted Levine, most people don't know.
Sorry.
That's Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's really just his voice.
Yes.
So
we got a theme here. Yeah. Phones and voices.
Paul Walker is going to pick up this girl that he really likes. They're going to go on the road. And then he has to go pick up his brother Steve Zahn, who's kind of a troublemaker, has trouble with the law. He buys this old car that has a CB radio in it. While they're going to pick up the girl, him and Steve Zahn play this prank on a trucker, pretty much being like, hey, we should meet up at a hotel, blah, 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 blah. We're staying at this room. Guy ends up showing up. And they told him a different room. Kills the guy in that room. And then, so they're freaked out. They then, they're on the road, and that guy finds them and catches up with them. So it's a chase movie of, they pretend to be a woman named Candy Cane. and Ted Levine's like, Candy Cane.
Oh.
Yeah, you do it pretty good, too.
Is that there you, Candy Cane?
Oh, I don't like it.
So, it's the whole time, and there's a truck either behind them or close, and they're talking over the radio. And the movie is just peak 2001.
Yeah.
It looks disgusting. Paul Walker. It's very sweaty.
It's very yellow.
It's very
tint
yellow.
to it, yeah.
It's very it's like horror, but not scary horror.
It's when everyone tried to do their own Hitchcock movie from 2000 to 2009.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing their own Hitchcock.
And it kind of gives a little bit of Duel and Maximum Overdrive, and it's just so silly, but also the set pieces are really great. Just kind of this cat and mouse mind game, and it's a lot of fun. I think, you know what? I don't even think it should be on this list. I think it should be on a good movie list.
And it's written by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
So this is before he became a
yeah.
household name. He was still writing Alias at this time, so this was his first. He had written other movies, but this was his first step.
Yeah.
And then he took another big step after.
You had 2 road trip movies.
Yeah, I
so
do
maybe
love
a road trip movie can lend itself to So Bad It's Good, because it's just a bunch of hijinks.
Yeah.
Road Trip.
I don't want to talk about
Euro Trip.
I don't want to talk
Also
about Road
So
Trip.
Bad They're Good.
Yeah, I agree.
But also they probably both have aged horribly.
Oh, those 2 movies have aged maybe the worst of all time.
Milk.
The best part about Euro Trip now is Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah, that's our list. If you want some more, we have another video that is also going to have the exact same title. So go find that somehow, some way. But yeah, I want to know in the comments, unless you're watching on THV11+.
Then you gotta text us.
I know. You figure out the number.
Oh no.